Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to your girl, Joy. And I'm super excited. So, this is the place where we have talks about everything from friendships to self-growth. I haven't stepped into the fashion department yet, but that is also a part of it. If you want more fashion posts, definitely check out the link in my bio for my blog, because I do give tips and tricks on there as well all the time. So if that's more your department, definitely go there, because I got you there. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new here. But today we're diving into something deep that's been on my mind lately. I've been scrolling through TikTok and I've been seeing a lot of people into like this phrase lately. Hold on, I'm about to sneeze. Bless me. Allergy season, sorry. But we're gonna be talking about low maintenance friends, and I feel like I have my two cents on it. So definitely stay tuned, because you don't want to miss out on what I feel about this.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to Joy Serendipity. If you're new here, definitely subscribe. You won't regret it.
I just got back from hiking, so please ignore like the setting as well, but I digress. So I get the whole we love the idea of being a low maintenance friend, right? But like, honestly, I wouldn't consider myself in that, because I don't want a low maintenance friend and I don't want to be a low maintenance friend. Like, sorry. But we really have to stop and think about what that actually means in the context of friendships. I talk about friendships all the time on my TikTok and on my blog, and like the requirements of being a good friend and what are red flags in a friendship. But let's talk about how sometimes calling yourself a low maintenance friend might be an excuse for being a bad friend. So yeah, I said it. Stick with me, because we are going there today. I'm not pro low maintenance friend, so sorry if you thought otherwise, but let's keep going. So when you hear someone say, sorry, I'm going to be drinking tea as well. When you hear someone say, I'm a low maintenance friend, it might sound like a positive thing at first. Maybe they're saying, I don't require much from you. Or I'm chill, I'm no drama. And that sounds great in the beginning. He made this great. But think about it. The more I realize that phrase can often be used to mask something deeper, something more problematic in friendships. First off, let's get one thing straight. We all have different levels of what we need out of a friendship, so I will give people that. Some people don't require much, which I wouldn't consider that a friendship. I would consider that either associate, a peer, or an acquaintance. But a lot of people forget that those words exist. But I digress. I kept notes for myself so I don't forget any points. Where was I? Associates and acquaintance. But some of us need constant communication. Others need space. And that's all valid, but there's a fine line between being low maintenance and just apathetic or disengaged in your relationships. In some cases, when people say they're a low maintenance friend, it's code for, I don't make the effort to check in on you, or I don't invest energy into our bond. Like, let's be real. If you were never there when your friend needs support, or you ghost them every time they need something to talk, or need someone to talk up to about their issues, because you have a lot of people saying that they're like, well, we're not your therapist, we're your friend, like go seek therapy, which people should seek therapy, but that also comes with the friendship. You should also be able to go to your friend and talk about what's going on in your life. I wouldn't call that low maintenance. I call that neglect. And if you're being neglectful to these friendships, honestly, why do you have them? Just be to yourself, because it feels like you're using people, but you don't want to say that. You just want the friendship when it benefits you. There's a difference between being low maintenance and being emotionally unavailable. We heard about emotionally unavailability in relationships, but a friendship is a type of relationship. So I don't understand, like, yeah, we'll keep our distance, like I don't need too much, and then they'll chime in and call you needy if you're asking for basic requirements of a friendship, which is messed up on its own. When they say they're a low maintenance friend or they want low maintenance friend, it's code for I don't want to make that effort. Like, let's be real. If you're never there, you are neglectful. We've all been there, right? The friends you can't rely on for any substantial anything, but they still claim I'm low maintenance friend, I don't need anything from you. Let's be clear, that's not what a true friend is. I'll give you an example. I had a friend who I should have saw the red flag from the beginning, but yeah. So this friend didn't have a vehicle. So I'm thinking, oh, that's my friend, I got you, girl. Like, I was giving rides all the time, not even charging for gas, which, yeah, like, I'm not gonna charge you for gas, you're my friend. But I started to notice that when someone else came around, and when I noticed that, like, oh, I'm being used, like, you never want to hang out, you never want to go to dinner, like all of that stuff, that's when I realized, oh, okay, so I'm the only one being the friend in this relationship, and you're benefiting from me having a vehicle. So I kind of backed away, and that's when she started getting aggressive and rude, and she found someone else. And then one day I secretly heard her say to someone, I don't think she was expecting me to hear, but she was like, I only keep certain people around when they're useful, aka she uses people. And that was my answer. So they would consider themselves a low maintenance friend, and I can't get with that, only because I've been on the side where it's constant use of, like, being used for the things that I have worked hard for, which a friend should be able to help you out or give you rides or anything like that. But if it's only one-sided and you're only there for when they're being of use to you, that's, I would consider you an opportunist at that. But I digress. Sorry, I got worked up about it. I'm in therapy, I'm working on that. So you may be wondering how to spot a low maintenance friend or someone who's going to use you for that, or people who use that as an excuse. Let's break it down. We're gonna break it down. Grab your pen and paper, because this is gonna get good, and you're gonna protect your time, your money, because sometimes those low maintenance friends will use you for your money, your network, because some people use you because they know that you know many people and that can get them in life, like, yeah. So red flag number one, they never make time for you. I should have saw that. The example I gave you, I should have saw that. Never made time unless she needed what she needed, right? We all have busy lives. We all are busy, okay? So when someone says I'm busy, okay, so if you're busy now, let's make a time in the future of when we're going to see each other, instead of just using the I'm plain old busy. You see people who have busy jobs, like I'll use the president's, for example. Michelle Obama, she made time to go do this and do that, still made time to be a wife, made time to be a mother, hung out with her friends. You saying I'm busy all the time, that's just an excuse. That's exactly what it is. Those low maintenance friends will never find time to hang out or check in or celebrate your wins. That's always a problem. Friendships are a two-way street, like I've said. If you're always the one reaching out, always the one planning things, always saying, like, gifting things, or saying, hey, I'm doing this, do you want to come, or just giving more into the friendship, that's not low maintenance friends. That's a one-sided friendship. And I've spoke about this so many times that I'm done with one-sided friendships. Like, I've been in too many, and you don't go into friendships expecting something out of it, but you would hope someone will return the energy that you're giving to the friendship to you. And there have been a lot of people I've been friends with, and they didn't do that. I wouldn't say they couldn't, but they just didn't want to. So definitely be aware of that. Red flag number 2, they expect you to always understand their absence. Like, you always have to be understanding, like, oh, I was busy, I had to go do this, that's why I flaked, or that's why, like, it's messed up. I know people say, oh, I'm busy, I don't need much. But if you're never putting the same energy into the friendship, that would be considered an imbalanced friendship. Being a low maintenance friend doesn't mean you're allowed to disappear without explanation. A lot of people do that. Ghosting has become a trend lately in all aspects of life, and I can't respect people who ghost, especially for people you claim that you love. Communication is a basic need, the basic pillar of friendship. So a lot of times these people would say, oh, the friendship, I just want to make sure the friendship doesn't come with unnecessary drama. But there's still a mutual respect for time and energy. And if they can't give you that, that's not the, I mean, some people will respect that. But usually those low maintenance friends are friends with people who actually value time and effort in friendship. So yeah, stay away from those people if that's not the type of friendship you want, because they will use you for your time, energy, yada yada yada. Red flag number 3, I would say, is they don't support you emotionally. This is a big one in friendships. I know you see it often in romantic relationships, but in friendships, this is just as important. Friendships require emotional support. Sometimes it's just your friend venting or offering advice, which a lot of people are starting to push back on those who do that in their friendships. They're like, well, you need to go to therapy. It's very draining talking to you. God forbid someone has emotions and wanted to talk to someone that they trust. Therapy is expensive, by the way, so. But even if you don't have all the answers, your friend doesn't even need you to be the therapist. Just be a listening ear, like they're a listening ear for you. If that friend only reaches out in need of something or when it's convenient for them, that's not friendship, that's convenience. You deserve more than just a person who is only around when it benefits them. Like I said, I keep repeating that, because there will be a lot of people out there who just so happen to show up if you got a promotion at work and you're going to celebrate, or if you're meeting, like networking with someone in a field that they really want it to be, they'll magically show up like, hey girl, oh my goodness, I saw you were with them, you guys want to go do, like, it's just convenient for them. Like, we haven't talked for weeks, but now you're magically showing up when I'm doing something that you're interested in. That's weird. But so what does this mean for us as individuals? Well, here's the thing. We need to start reevaluating what we expect from our friendships. So I want you to go in your notes app and list 10 things, 10 non-negotiables that you require out of a friendship. It can be little as one day a week we go grab coffee, or it could be something as big as, I require emotional intelligence, I require communication, I require you not to just use me or talk to me every 6 months. Like, again, the whole busy thing. People show up for who they want to show up for. So after you make that list, Actually, make it in your notes app because you can keep it there with you and remind yourself that the friendship that you're requiring is out there and you deserve it. No one wants to be a high maintenance friend that's one demanding, and you know, they try to make you seem high maintenance when you're, or say that you're being needy when you're asking for the basic pillars of friendship, like I said, which is weird because it's the basics: respect, communication. Like, if that makes you needy, then go find someone who appreciates that in a friendship, because great, genuine, two-sided friendships are rare to come across. True friendship requires effort from both sides and time. Okay, it was easier when we were children, but it can be just as easy as an adult if both people are putting in the effort. Low maintenance friendships doesn't mean minimum experiences or minimum maintenance. It's about balance. It's about knowing when to show up, when to check in, when to give your friend space, because there is times that you will need space. I'm not saying for like 8 months, that when people are trying to do that, but like maybe a few weeks, maybe they're going through depression, all of that, which you still should be able to communicate with that person you claim to be loyal to. Sorry, there's like this little bug flying right there. I digress. A good friend shows up when it counts, even if they're low maintenance. They're like, in their day-to-day life, they're still gonna send you like a random text like, hey girl, just checking in, how are you doing, stuff like that. The effort is still there, the intention is still there. That's, you became friends with intention, so for that to disappear, like, what's going on? What do you really want out of this friendship? I'm confused. So what can you do if someone who prides themselves on being low maintenance? I would say you need to reflect. Like I said, make that notes app thing and decide if that person is meeting even half of those. And if they aren't, then you need to question, are you ready to deal with a one-sided friendship? Because it comes with a lot. You're watering a plant that does not want to be watered. You know? But friendship is like a plant. It needs water. And also, plants don't just take, they give as well. So you got to consider that. But yeah, ask them, are they genuinely being there for people? Are you genuinely being there for people you care about? Or are you using that as an excuse to not put in the effort? And if you're on the other side of this, maybe you've been calling out someone who claims to be low maintenance friend. Don't be afraid to have the conversation, because you're just going to waste your time, energy, and feel used and drained. Friendship should be mutual, and it's important to make sure that you both are on the same page. True friendships are built on trust, communication, and respect. Like I said, I'm going to keep repeating that. That means showing up even when it's hard. So if you say you're a low maintenance friend, make sure that that's not just an excuse for checking out when your friends need you the most. But I want to know what you all think. Are you that low maintenance friend? Are you tired of dealing with people who are low maintenance friends? Do you wish this whole trend of being a low maintenance friend would go away? Definitely let's chat about it in the comments, because it's time we had this talk. We are losing community with people who are claiming to be low maintenance friends. So definitely let me know what you all think. I thought I'd give you guys some bonus topics to discuss that has to do with this topic. The difference between healthy space versus neglect in friendship, because I know some people are going to be confused when people say I need some time away, and I agree, you'll need some time. 6 months is kind of pushing it, but I'll go into that. So before I wrap this video up, I want to quickly touch on something that I feel is super important, and that's difference between giving your time or giving your friend healthy space and just straight up neglecting the friendship. People mix up the two, and it's time we talk about it. Look, we're grown. We're working. We're healing. We're making time for family. Jobs are becoming draining. You're always tired after work. We're building our lives. And naturally, friendships will shift. You may not talk to your best friend every day like you used to in high school or college. And that's okay. That's healthy space. Right? But healthy space does not equal neglect. Here's the difference. When you're giving a friend healthy space, there's still a foundation of love, presence, and effort. You still check in, you celebrate each other, you still show up when it matters. I know you're thinking of a friend right now who still shows up even when they're going through stuff. Neglect, on the other hand, is when you stop showing up entirely, when your friend's milestones pass and you didn't even do something as little as send a text, when they're going through something and you didn't notice because you never asked. That's not space. That's distance. That's disconnection. So if you're someone who values peace and solitude, which I totally respect, just make sure your friend still feels seen, heard, and loved. Because space shouldn't make people feel abandoned. Okay? I repeat again, space shouldn't make people feel abandoned, and sometimes your friends will feel that way if you decide to go AWOL for 7 months at a time, and your friend just graduated, or your friend just had a baby, or all of that, and you didn't even do anything as little as say congratulations. But I don't know, everyone thinks different. You may require different things out of a friendship, and as long as it's a mutual thing between you two friends, that's okay. But I wanted to show you guys something. Let's see if I brought it. This is my book that I tell you guys about all the time. If you've been loving these kind of deep, soulful talks that I do with you all, I just want to let you in on something really special to me. This book, I cried tears while writing it because it's like releasing of emotions. Don't worry, it's not a depressing book. But, I recently released my book, Emerging Wings, and it's all about healing, growth, and rediscovering yourself after emotional struggle. It's for the women who feel silent. It's for the women who are overlooked or in the middle of trying to figure out who they are again. If you're connected to what I said today about friendships, boundaries, and learning how to show up for yourself and others, Emerging Wings goes deeper. It's filled with poetic reflections that feel like letters to your soul. It's honest, raw, but it's also uplifting. I use the metamorphosis, like the butterfly cycle, to express that because of, yes, the caterpillar goes into hiding, but in the end, you get your wings. So that's why I call it Emerging Wings. I poured my heart and soul into this book. This is my baby. And I truly believe that it will resonate with anyone on a self-love or self-awareness journey. So if that is you or someone you know, check it out, share it, and let it speak to you. I will put the description in the description box on my video. It's available physically, or it's also available online, so if you like to read your books on Kindle or whatnot. But thank you guys for hanging with me today. I hope you guys learned something. If someone could learn something from this video, definitely send this to them. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share. I'll see you guys next time. Remember, your growth is valid, your feelings are real, and your presence matters. I love you all. Bye.